The combine is officially over, and I'm going to talk about some of the news and rumors coming out of the combine about the Miami Dolphins. What is up, Finn fans? The offensive linemen, interior, exterior, all those guys have finished a couple hours ago, and I'm going to really quickly kind of talk about some guys that I found interesting on that. But the big thing we're going to talk about is some of the news and rumors that came out of the combine about the Miami Dolphins and about two players specifically that are being intermingled with the Miami Dolphins. But before we jump into that, I do have to shout out today's sponsor, and that is Clean the World. I talk about Sean Seipler a ton of times. I talk about his company and the fantastic things he does for the people of need, whether it's third world countries, whether it's natural disaster, whether it's the homeless, people in need. He does some great things for them, from shower kits to shower stations to getting them socks, all this stuff. Check him out. Click the link in the description, cleantheworld.org, and he has merch if you want to go grab yourself some. You probably have seen me wear shirts that say wash your hands. That are his t-shirts, and they're fantastic. So check him out. So some of the top names that kind of really produced, not top names, some of the names that produced this last day today is Tanner Bortolini. He's the center out of Wisconsin, and Wisconsin has some pretty nice big offensive linemen. He ran a 4.94 40. He's 6'4", 300 pounds. They say he's going to be a mid to late day 3 pick, so you're probably looking at like fourth, fifth rounder. Yeah, because I think day 1 is first round, day 2 is 2 and 3, and then 4, 5, and 6. Yeah, 7. So you're probably looking at that around, 4, 5 around there. But he had a good day. He had a really good day. He definitely helped his stock. Quick feet, quick hands. Did really good with the shuttle time. So that's a guy that maybe the Dolphins can get with a 5th rounder. Again, add him in there. Maybe Brandon Coleman, guard out of TCU. Again, he had a 40-yard run, 4.99. He had 6'4", 313 pounds, 34-inch vert, 9 feet 6-inch broad jump. Another solid third-day prospect, maybe even a 4th rounder. Really, really good mover. A guy I hear a lot about, Mason McCormick. Don't they make like dinner signs? Guard/center out of South Dakota State. 35-inch vert. 9'9" broad jump. He ran a 5.08 40. So again, for offensive linemen, that's not bad. They're thinking late day 2, early day 3. He's got a lot of experience. He's very physical. Mostly probably a guard, but you can put him in there at center. Some of the top guys, some of them did well. There was one guy who didn't finish because he hurt himself. Mims suffered a right hamstring injury, didn't return. But his measurable 6'8", 340 pounds, 36 1/8 inch arms, 11 1/4 inch hands. They have him as a top 5 tackle, but he had a hamstring injury, so he did not return. But supposedly this offensive line group for this draft is deep. So the Dolphins definitely, like I said, if there's a possibility of trading down from 21 and picking up a 3rd or a 4th or maybe both, I wouldn't be against it. But again, it depends on who's sitting there at 21 when the Dolphins are picking. But you guys clicked on this video for obvious reasons. You see the 2 images, you saw the title, you want to know what is going on. So Fowler said, corner was a popular position of discussion in Indy, most for the trade market. We know that the Chiefs are working on a potential tag and trade for L'Jarius Sneed, and multiple teams are believed to be in the mix. The word out of Indy is that Detroit is pretty set on adding a high-end corner, so the Lions are one to watch. He also states that Miami is worth keeping an eye on too. Now, here's my thing about that, about Miami and L'Jarius Sneed. Would it be awesome to have 2, again, high-powered corners on the team in Jalen Ramsey and L'Jarius Sneed? Yes, of course. Does it make logical sense to throw picks at the Chiefs again for Snead? To me, no. Now, the least you'll probably give up is a second round pick, and you could use that second round pick and more that they're going to have to give up for him for more needs. We have no interior offensive lineman. You know, Robert Hunt is a free agent. Connor Williams is a free agent. Isaiah Wynn is a free agent. You got Kendall Lamb, who's a backup tackle, free agent. And you have Liam Eichenberg. That's about it for your interior guys. We don't know what's happening with Chubb and Phillips. When are they coming back? We need to add a position there. AVG is a free agent. Middle linebacker position, we don't know what to do with that. We don't know what to do with the defensive tackles when it comes to Christian Wilkins and Raekwon Davis being free agents. Third wide receiver position. There's so many needs. And to me, opposite of Jalen Ramsey, isn't a top need right now. So the fact that he's saying Miami's worth keeping an eye on too, I'm like, I don't know if I really believe that. Now, a lot of people are like, well, Cam Smith sucks. He couldn't get on the field, and, you know, had Eli Apple out there and blah, 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 this, and that. You got to take that stuff with a grain of whatever you want to give it, because I'm not saying that Vic Fangio is a bad coach and he sucks and he doesn't know what he's doing, but different coaches have different, like, mentalities on when it comes to their rookies. He might not have wanted to put Cam Smith out there, not because he's bad, but because he's a rookie and he's going to make a mistake, and he might cost us in a certain situation because he's a rookie. He's going to make mistakes. That doesn't necessarily mean he's a bust or he's bad. We haven't seen him play. It's the same thing like saying how he treated Xavier Howard and Jalen Ramsey and all these other corners where he didn't put him in the right situation because he wanted it his way. It is what it is. Let's not jump to conclusions that Cam Smith sucks, especially with X and Ramsey coming out and saying how well he did during training camp and at practices. So let's pump the brakes on Cam Smith sucks and we need to move on from him. But also let's pump the brakes on trading picks away to get L'Jarius Sneed when that's not a need. If they were going to trade picks away to get a middle linebacker, a center, interior offensive lineman, another DT that would be cheaper, trade picks away to move back in the draft to add more picks, then I'm like, yes, that makes logical sense. This one, it doesn't make sense to me. Now, if they do it and we're going to be mad, I'm going to be a little frustrated because, like I said, we need the picks for other things. But to have Sneed and Jalen Ramsey, our secondary is, again, going to be ridiculous. But again, like I said, we have bigger needs. And to me, a corner opposite of Ramsey isn't the top need. And then the other thing that was coming out from Fowler and the Combine says, while Miami's stance is that all options are on the table for defensive tackle Christian Wilkins, several league sources say he probably won't be franchise tagged. That would put a big-time tackle who had 63 tackles and 9 sacks in 2023 on the market. Houston is intrigued here. The Texans have ample cap space and a quarterback early on a rookie deal and a playoff roster. There would be several teams in the mix, though. The Browns are always good for a splash or two, for instance. So would that strengthen an already stout defense with a versatile defensive tackle? Here's my thing. And a lot of people are saying, like he's saying, well, we're not going to tag him. And then if you tag him, you're not going to get anything for him because no one's going to want to take him and give him the contract he wants. Fowler just said it, that, you know, he brought up the Texans, he brought up teams that have huge cap spaces. If I'm the Miami Dolphins, and it's been 2 off seasons, it's last off season and the off season before that, the Dolphins have tried to get Wilkins under contract. If there is no way that the Dolphins and Wilkins can come to some type of understanding and some type of agreement, then I tag and trade him. Plain and simple. Because like he said here, there will be several teams in the mix though. As a team, you don't want to get into a bidding war and then overpay for somebody just to have them on your roster. Like say the Texans want them, the Browns want them, say that the Lions want him, say that all these teams want him, and then the Texans eventually get him, but they have to pay an extra $8 million to beat out the other teams. It's better just to trade for him. And Miami can, again, tag him and say to Houston, hey, give us whatever. Give us a first, give us a second this year, a first next year. Give us something. And you get Wilkins, and then you have the power to make your own contract. If I'm the Dolphins, I am not letting him leave without getting something for him. Plain and simple. And a lot of people are going to think, hey, you'll get a compensatory pick for him when he, signs somewhere in free agency. 100%. You're not wrong there, but a lot of factors go into that. And the biggest factor is play time, health, all these things. Because the Miami Dolphins, when they let Juwan James walk, and he signed, I think, with the Denver Broncos, he signed a huge fat contract for the Dolphins, and they were projected to get a third-round compensatory pick. Juwan James ended up getting injured, and he played like 4 games that year, and the Dolphins' third-round compensatory pick ended up being a 5th-round compensatory pick. So yes, if Christian Wilkins signs a big fat contract with one of these teams, whether it's the Texans, the Browns, whoever, the Dolphins will get a compensatory pick, but a lot of other things go into it. Do I agree with that? No, I think it's BS. I think when he signed with another team, the Dolphins should get the compensatory pick, and it shouldn't equate to how he does blah, blah, blah. But that's how it goes. So again, I'll reiterate this one more time. If the Dolphins cannot come to some type of agreement with Christian Wilkins, and if they can't take the money you would give him, bring back Andrew Van Ginkel, go out, get the guys, do all these things that you would save with that $20+ million you would give Christian Wilkins. Tag and trade him. Because I'm telling you right now, teams don't want to get into a bidding war and overpay. They would rather give up draft picks. Now, let me see where Houston's sitting at when it comes to their draft and, their picks. Because I know they gave up picks. So they have a first from Cleveland. They have a second. They have a third from Philly. They have 2 fourths, a 5th, and 2 7ths. So the first from Cleveland is what they got trading for Deshaun Watson. So if I'm the Dolphins, you want Christian Wilkins, cool. Give us a first and a 4th. And he's yours. And if that's too rich, I'll take a second and a 4th. But I'm getting at least a 1st or 2nd round pick for Christian Wilkins from the Houston Texans. Now, the Browns don't have a 1st round pick. And the Texans gave their own 1st round pick to the Cardinals to get back up to get that defensive end. So if I'm the Dolphins and the Texans really want him, give me a 1st and a 4th. And there you go. You get Christian Wilkins. Or at least, you know what? Just give me a 1st round pick and you can have Christian Wilkins. Plain and simple. Because that 1st round pick you're getting from Cleveland is like in the teens. Let me look that up. Just so I can give you guys a better understanding. 23rd. So the Dolphins would have the 21st and the 23rd pick if they did a straight up to Houston, which, hey, you get one of the best defensive tackles for the 23rd pick. So that's why I would do a 23rd and a 4th. And then Dolphins have 2 picks, one after the other, and you can package those 2 picks and move up if you like somebody like a Bowers who ends up falling and is sitting there at like 16. All right, well, I'll take the 21st and whatever, and we'll, the 21st and the 4th we got. There's a lot. These are videos I'm going to make down the line. But overall, what I'm saying to you guys is get something for Wilkins. Tag and trade him. Because teams don't want to get into a bidding war, and the Dolphins should get something out of it. Comment below, let me know what you guys think. What do you think? Who is your top performers today from the offensive line? What's your thoughts on going after Snead? And what's your thoughts on potentially not being able to retain Wilkins? And do you want to tag and trade him? Comment below, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. And this upcoming week is all free agency because next Monday, the 11th, is when the tampering period opens. So this whole week is going to be crazy. You're going to see a lot of restructurings, a lot of cuts, a lot of everything, because by next Wednesday, the 13th, teams have to get under the salary cap. So I will see you guys tomorrow. But like usual, stay classy. FN's out.